I'm back. So it's store time, and I got a big question. So yeah, have you ever taken someone to a convention, and you have regretted that decision? I have. Let me just say that many people don't understand that taking someone who doesn't have fun at a convention, not worth it. It's not worth it at all. Like, no, it's not worth it. Because I took my ex to Anime Expo in 2023. Well, let me say, I love Anime Expo. AX is my favorite convention of all time. I'm sorry, I just can't stop going because it is fun. I have always had enjoyed it. And since 2017, I have appeared at every single Anime Expo, including the two virtual ones in 2021 and 22, and I went back in 2023, and I do have all badges for that. So, again, here's the story. Have you ever taken someone to a convention and they just ruined it for you? Raise your hand, because I have. So in 2023, my ex partner, and I went to Anime Expo together. I highly suggest that I would slap myself back, because this was the worst decision ever made. Because I didn't have much fun for the first 2 days, and the first time ever, that's never happened at AX. It's never happened. So why am I talking about this? Because this is a huge lesson for everybody out there to know that if you have toxic friends, family, or partners that are going to bring you down attending conventions like AX, let them go, because they're not worth it. I'll give you an example. See, in 2023, my ex was working. Fortunately, that year in May of 2023, he got fired from his job. And I was left to foot the bill and paying everything from apartment, from rent, grocery, everything, utilities, bills, everything. And still to this day, I was strong enough to make it because I became very self-independent. Sorry, allergies. Back to what I was saying. So what really is interesting is that I became self-efficient and self-independent just by myself. And I was able to do that. Beautiful. But I was going to sell his ticket because, like many other people, sell the ticket, get the money, be free, right? Wrong. So he decided to go with me to AX because he wanted to experience it. I said whatever. Yeah, I'm a fool when it comes to that part, because it's like, why did I do that? Why? Because it left me no choice. So in July we left for LA. I paid $50 for the extra bag because the whole size bag thing from that. Anyways, we just get to LA, and this isn't even convention. He loses his wallet and personal items on the plane. Blames me and starts hating California. Starts saying, F California, I hate the state and all that. And it is not even in the state. This is the first time. I kid you not. This was the worst experience I've had. I kid you not. This was the worst experience I ever had with a person. So what can I say? It was truly my bad, and this was a lesson that I think more people are going to understand why. So if you ever had this experience, comment down below. Let's continue. So that year, he started complaining, and we got MJ because California, it's legal, recreational, and all that, so you can go to any dispensary. I buy him that. He's happy. But what happened at the convention? So you're probably asking what actually happened at the convention because you talked about Anime Expo. So AX2, and so that year AX was crazy. It was a bunch of line. I was in line for about an hour, 45 minutes, and went to the entertainment hall, got some Genshin Impact stuff, which I think I know what happened to it, which still angers me, by the way. I love Genshin Impact, by the way. Just saying. So, what happened? So we go to the convention. We have a good time. Everything seems to be going. So I figure out I can go to the Shadow of Emirates panel, which is Shadow of Emirates is a great anime, by the way. Check it out. It's on Crunchyroll, which is good. It's a good series. Shadow's my favorite. Okay, he's the best. Shadow and Delta, my two favorite characters. Anyways, so what happens is that he falls asleep during the panel, and the Japanese voice actor is yelling, this says his line, "I am atomic," and it's everybody's screaming. It's just so amazing, and he wakes up. He's like, "What's going on?" Yeah, this is where things get really worse. And then day two, we go. Day two, we hit the convention again. He just is not having fun. Like, it's not as fun as you would think, because things just are not as good as well. So what the interesting part was, on day two, I wore another cosplay. I don't know. I remember what cosplay I was in. But anyways, I was in another cosplay, and he did not cosplay at all. I don't know why, and this is why I don't like people that do cosplay when attending convention. You can do that, but at least put on something that is recognizable, and he didn't do that, and it still makes me wonder why. Let me proceed. So as I keep spilling the tea, this is why I finally now know why it was a big mistake, and it's something that I had to live with for the rest of my life. Day two was crazy. I wore a different cosplay, and we go around taking pictures, and we get free stuff and all that. It just feels like he's there. Have you ever taken someone to a convention and you're just like walking around like this, and you're just like they're like a zombie. They're not having fun at all. This was the feeling I was getting. And I kid you not, I feel like I was alone at the convention, because day three, day four, yeah, it wasn't fun, because day one and day two were fun. We're okay. We're not really fun, but we're okay. Day three and day four, perfect. Why? Because I did not have anyone restricting, telling me, or trying to interrupt me when I'm having fun, because I love having fun. I love going to AX and having fun, hanging out with people and all that. I went with my sister last year. It was all great. I'm going to be with my cosplay siblings. I'm going to be going with my cosplay siblings / my family. It's going to be fun. Day 3 and day 4 were so much better, because I was alone, but I was having such a better time. I didn't have anyone around me, and I was communicating with people, and it just felt so much better. And not being rude, it was just felt so much better. But I realized that now it was a bad idea to take him. It was. So now it was not a bad idea. But day 3, day 4 were amazing. Day 4, I think, was where he was most pissed off, because he had to stay outside because they couldn't take his guitar in, and he was just I hate this, I hate that, what's going on, why is this, blah blah blah. It was an experience that I did not like. So this was a lesson about taking toxic people to conventions. And if you ever had any experience like this, please comment below, because I really want to know your story, because this was something different for me. I've never experienced like this at any anime expo I've been into. I've seen Bible Thumpers, which is going to be for another story. It's going to be another day, another video for another story. But reality, AX 2023 wasn't as fun as well, because the last 2 days were the best, because I was in there by myself having such a good time, because I didn't have anyone telling me, holding on to me like dear for life. It's I understand you can get lost at AX, that's fine, but restricting somebody from fun and all that, and it's just, it gets too much, man. It does. So I learned how to not take people that are not going to have fun at AX. So this was a lesson learned for me. So if you ever had a same experience, I want to hear a story. I do, because it's going to be interesting. But after day 4, after day 4 and all that, it was fun. But there's what I gotta say. Only 10% of the trip was happy. That was it. Like, I'm not gonna joke around that. It was, so whether you like it or not, 2023 AX wasn't as fun because of him. He wasn't as having fun as I am, because I always love going to Anime Expo. I love having fun. I do. It's so much fun. And Batch 2023. So much fun. I loved it, but on the other hand, I learned a new lesson. So for those out there, make sure you take people that will enjoy the convention, because it will be so much better when you have fun people around you, and you will have a shit ton of fun getting goodies, talking about food, eating food, enjoying life, all that. Because you want to make sure that you want to enjoy the time with your family, friends, partners, and all that. But when you're with a person that is negative and is just seeing the bad and everything, they're going to run the trip. So, like I said, anyone has an experience like this, you're not alone. So, this was a lesson for me. I'm not taking anyone like that back to AX again. This year, it's going to be different. I'm taking my two siblings, my cosplay siblings, my family to AX this year. It's going to be so much fun. I cannot wait. So, yeah, that was my story anyways. But in the end, our relationship did not end well. And about a year later, in February 2024, we broke up, and yeah, things just got single happy right now. So I want to show you that toxic people and people that don't want to have fun in general, you don't want to be around them a lot of time, because they're gonna sink you down with negative and toxic vibes and all that. So I want to share that. I want to say bye, Felicia, because you don't want that. But that's the end of the video. Like, subscribe, and all that. Put your comments below and see if you have any the same experience I did. And I'll hope to see you all in the next video. Peace.